Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. This week we're taking a look at what's in my bag with my primary Hickory set. And I'm proud to say that I'm now a brand ambassador for Steurer Jacoby. Steurer Jacoby is based in Louisville, Kentucky and makes fine handcrafted golf club carriers, head covers, valuables pouches, luggage, other things here in the United States. This is their new style pencil bag, which is a lightweight and minimalist update to their previous pencil bag, which I've been using for over a year now. It's got this nice leather loop on the bottom so you can hoist it into your trunk. It's got a nice spot on the outside of a scorecard pocket for your tees. There's even a dedicated spot for your pencil so you don't have to dig through your pockets for that. It's got high quality zippers on the ball pocket. These are YKK, and if you know anything about cheap golf bags, zippers are the first thing to go. That's not going to happen with this bag. Open the ball pocket, and the first thing you see is that Made in USA tag, which lets you know that this is a high quality product and that your money's well spent. There is a lot of space in this ball pocket. I've got 3 sleeves in here, but you could probably put 6 sleeves of balls in, and knowing how I play, that's probably not a bad idea. But I just wanted you to see how many balls you could fit in here in addition to your keys, your wallet, your phone, whatever else you want to put in there. So plenty of space for storage there. Working our way up the bag, there's actually an oak spine that keeps this bag nice and sturdy and upright. All of these components, the strap and the handle, are riveted to that, so it's strong. The shoulder harness is super comfortable, and if you know anything about vintage bags, that's one of the first things to go on those. So brass hardware throughout on this. This is going to last you as long as you want to play golf. I really like this canvas loop in the bag so you can separate woods and putter from the rest of your irons. So that's it, but honestly I think that's all you need in a good quality golf bag. Top it off, it looks beautiful on trestle sticks, on the back of a cart, or even on a pull cart because of that nice oak spine. So go to StewartJacoby.com, check out all the colors they've got on this great bag, and if you use the code HickoryHacker21 you'll get 10% off this or any other purchase. Now let's take a look at the clubs I'm carrying in that beautiful bag, and we'll start with the driving brassy, which is a Walter Hagen Special Splice Neck replica made by Louisville Golf. It's 13 degrees of loft, and you could use this off the fairway if you want, but I'm mostly using it off the tee. Can usually count on about 190 yards of average carry off the tee with this one, and if the fairway's dry, I'll get up to 215 with rollout. I've hit a couple 220, 225 with this, but I'm not a big hitter, and if I can learn to be satisfied with 200 yards in the middle of the fairway, I'll be in good shape pretty much on any hole. I try to get cocky and overpower the club, that's usually what happens. So lately I've been focusing on just a nice even tempo, good sweet spot contact, strong balanced finish, and that's been the result. For long iron, I really like my Tom Stewart 2 iron. This one was made for Otto HACKBARTH in the mid-20s. HACKBARTH was an accomplished player, longtime pro, and even club designer. His forked hosel putter is collectible and sought after. This particular club has 24 degrees of loft, and I can count on it for about 160 yards of carry off a good lie. But most of the time I'm using this when I didn't hit the fairway with the brassy. That's kind of my go-to club for shots under trees, as in this approach, and also shots from the trees like this shot at Country Club at Greenfield. This is another one at Greenfield where I was off the fairway but was able to use the 2 iron to advance myself back into play. My favorite club in the bag is the MASHIE. This is my McGregor Flanged Model OA made for George Blagg, who was a Petersburg, Virginia pro in the mid-20s. It's a heavy club at E3, but the loft of 37 degrees is ideal for a variety of shots. First off is the approach from about 140 yards. You can hit a pretty high ball with this one, but if I hit it a little lower, I'll get some rollout, obviously. I like it though mostly for these approach shots into elevated green structures where I can hit the ball into the green and kind of pop it up. It's also great for these short range chip shots where you've got some rough to cover before you get to the green. And I've also gotten really good with a putting stroke chip just off the green where there's a little more rough than I'd want to work with using the putter. For my short iron, I'm using a KROYDON waffle face spade mashie these days, which replaces my 44 degree Gibson flange niblick and my 47 degree Tom Stewart mashie niblick. This club covers what both of those clubs were doing for me with its 46 degrees of loft. It's great off the tee on short par 3s. Mostly though I'm using this club from the sand. Learned how to use it to nip the ball off of a hard pan lie. And I've also learned how to drive it behind the ball in fluffy sand. I'm using a technique that Harry Vardon wrote about in 1900 that I'll talk about a little at length in a future video. But the technique basically involves squaring yourself to the target and coming down steep behind the ball. And the spade mashie works really well for that technique, at least for me. Still have a lot of work to do with it, but I'm getting better. And I've also learned I can hit a flop shot with the spade mashie if the ball's sitting up a little bit. That brings us to the putter, which is my trusty Tom Stewart RTJ. They made this model very briefly in 1930 to commemorate Bobby Jones's Grand Slam, but it was made without Jones's permission, so it was discontinued shortly thereafter. Like most Hickory putters, it's got a fair amount of loft to it, which means you can use it in chipping situations like this where the rough isn't too thick. Most of the time though, I'm using it on the green itself. And while I've had a lot of ups and downs with this putter, I definitely hit more putts with this than anything else. So I'm sticking with it for now. That said, every once in a while, I feel like throwing it into the woods.
Oh no!
But whenever I think about switching to a different putter, something happens that makes me want to keep it in the bag. So those are the 5 clubs I'm using in my primary set these days. Here are a few that got kicked out of the bag for one reason or another. First, the Jack White spoon made by Louisville Golf. It's a beautiful club, but I just can't seem to hit it consistent enough to keep it in the bag. And then there's the Dysart Spalding Jigger made in Scotland. Another cool club, but I have a tendency to dig this one more often than not. I also mentioned the Gibson Flange Niblick and the Tom Stewart Mashie Niblick. Both of these clubs are great, and I still use them on occasion, but the KROYDON Spade Mashies turned out to be a versatile 2-in-1 for me. So that's what I'm carrying in my Steurer Jacoby pencil bag. I'll be showing you more products from Steurer Jacoby in the future, and make sure you check out StewarJacoby.com and use that 10% promo code. I'll be back next week with another new course vlog. In the meantime, check out my round at Donald Ross's Winnipeg Country Club in the upper right, and then watch me play 1890s gutty golf in the lower right. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe.